company called Detective Comics put out a call for more than just a few good men. The company had scored big with the Man of Steel, Superman, and editors were looking for another superhero. In May of 1939, cartoonist Bob Kane inked Batman into action. The Caped Crusader and his sidekick Robin were mysterious crime fighters who disguised their true identities. The comic book hero became a success, and by 1943, Batman appeared as a comic strip in more than 20 newspapers around the country. That same year, the Caped Crusader leaped onto the silver screen in the film The Batman.
Slap his face.
But by the early 1960s, the Batman comic strip was growing tired and teetered on cancellation. Batman's salvation came from an unlikely source. The ABC television network was struggling and needed a new project to reverse the ratings slump. Former ABC Director of Development, Harve Bennett.
Now, mind you, we're trying to do outrageous programming. We're trying to do attention-getting, high-concept programming, because that's what tail-end networks do even to this day.
Bennett's boss, Doug Kramer, suggested a show based on a comic book hero, Batman. In the summer of 1965, ABC flashed the bat signal. The network signed an exclusive contract with 20th Century Fox to produce 13 shows. Once the deal was done, producers set out to find an actor to fill Batman's cape. As a child, growing up on a farm in Walla Walla, Washington, Adam West never dreamed he would one day be summoned to wear the cape and the cowl. West was born on September 19, 1928. Young Adam's first brush with the Caped Crusader was purely accidental.
I first got in touch with Batman because I stumbled into a bunkhouse, and there was a pile of literature in the corner, and there were Batman comics. And I started to read them, and I found that I enjoyed Batman.
But West shared more in common with Batman's alter ego, the cultured Bruce Wayne. As the oldest of two boys, West idolized his mother, who was a local theater enthusiast and opera singer. By 1951, the 22-year-old student was pursuing his own showbiz dream, working in radio at Whitman College in Washington.
I used to come in Sunday mornings and do the religious shows in the control room, riding the pots and be the engineer. I had nothing on but a trench coat, nothing on underneath, just so that I could get in there on time and go back to bed.
In 1952, after graduating from college, West married his 17-year-old sweetheart, Billy Lou Yeager. That year, Adam enrolled in a graduate program at Stanford University to study writing. West's university days were cut short when he landed a job at a Sacramento radio station. But Adam had to put his career on hold when he was drafted into the Army in 1954. After leaving the military, West and his wife moved to Honolulu. In 1956, the actor accepted a friend's offer to work on a local TV morning program, The Keeney Popo Show.
My co-host was a chimp in a diaper, and he was so obscene.
The chimp wasn't his only problem. In 1956, Adam's wife dumped him for an older man. The handsome blonde actor wasn't alone for long. West fell in love with a beautiful Tahitian woman named Na. The couple was married in 1957 and quickly started a family. A daughter, Jonelle, was born that same year, and a son, Hunter, was born in 1958. As well as working on the Keeney Popo Show, West performed in local theater.
An agent and a well-known manager came to Hawaii. I paid a friend of mine $20 to get him off the beach and get him in to see me in a play called Picnic. They came in and saw the play, and one of them said, "Kid, I think we can sell you in Hollywood."
The agent made good on his word. He arranged for West, then 31 years old, to sign a contract at Warner Brothers Studio. The actor quickly found work on a string of television shows. By 1959, Adam landed his first big break. Warner Brothers cast West as the lead in a TV pilot called The Frontier World of Doc Holliday. But Adam West made an error in judgment.
I played Doc as a consumptive and an alcoholic, which he was. I played it for the reality of it, and I think I was wrong.
The show never made air, and the actor lost his contract at Warner Brothers Studios. Then, West made a decision that would impact the rest of his career. Coming up, holy hiatus! Batman nearly has its wings clipped before the first show is aired.
The gloom in that room was beyond description. We just thought we'd all been going off on some kind of oddball dream.
And later, the Bat Party, Bat-Tusi, and Bat Groupies.
We had so much fun, and it wasn't just all with wild sex and stuff like that with women. It was just fun.
By the early 1960s, the Batman comic strip was struggling to retain fans. At the same time, actor Adam West struggled to find his place in Hollywood. It took some innovative executives at ABC to combine the comic strip character with the actor, and the result changed TV comedy forever.
The first time I looked at myself in the mirror, I really wondered, am I able to go through with this?
Without a major studio contract, Adam West scrambled for work, doing occasional guest spots on television. But TV commercials paid the bills. In 1961, Adam's luck changed when he landed a role on the NBC series The Detectives. When the show was over, the actor did a few features, including the 1964 sci-fi film Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Then, West concocted another plan.
I went to Italy to do my spaghetti western, so-called, because I wasn't working at the time.
While Adam worked in Italy, ABC executives enlisted the help of William Dozier, a veteran producer at 20th Century Fox, to produce the series Batman. Dozier knew the success of the show depended on clever, humorous writing. The producer hired Lorenzo Semple Jr., a screenwriter with a flair for satire and camp.
I had read comic books, but I wasn't a super fan. But the moment I saw it, I said, you know, this is sensational, you know, it can't miss.
With Semple's script in hand, Dozier set out to find a director who could bring the pages to life. The producer hired Robert Butler, best known for his work on TV comedies like Hogan's Heroes.
The whole feeling was, once upon a time, let's have scenes, let's have fun, let's make a comic book flock of scenes and string them together in this pilot.
The search was on to find an actor to play Batman. William Dozier remembered a young actor he had seen in a TV commercial who had a flair for comedy. That actor was Adam West. In the fall of 1965, West wrapped up his latest film in Italy and was on his way back to California.
My agent said they want to see it to 20th Century Fox. And I said, what about? And he said, well, they have a new project called Batman. I said, what? I said, come on, I'm trying to have a serious career here.
Adam West met with producer Charles Fitzsimons.
Immediately, we saw the potential for Batman. He had the understanding of what camp comedy was, because we told him he had to play it like he was playing Hamlet.
After looking at the script, West knew instantly this show was his ticket to success.
I said, get me in this. If they want me, tell them now, today, sign me, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm headed back to Europe.
Adam West was on board to play Batman, but producers were having a tough time finding the crime fighter's colleague in tights. Then, late one evening, a 20-year-old kid named Burton Jervis was sent to the Fox lot by his agents.
He came into my office and I thought I was hallucinating. I see the comic book walk right off the page.
Burt was married and worked as a real estate agent. He didn't have much acting experience.
I came for an interview that I didn't know what the part was. And I found myself at a screen test with two wardrobe guys taking off my clothes and pulling up these itchy, horrible stockings, ballet tights, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I wasn't sure I wasn't doing some kind of a porno movie.
I get it. 222 Glover Avenue.
The moment he stepped into that light with me, and we started the dialogue, and it was, "Holy guacamole, Batman!" You know, that kind of thing, you know. Immediately, as did the others, this guy was right.
I said, Burton, we're going to use you as Robin, but the name Burton Jervis won't do. From now on, you're Burt Ward.
The pilot was shot in November of 1965. The schedule was tight. ABC had decided Batman would air as a mid-season replacement in January of 1966. Entertainment journalist Bob Garcia.
The problems that came up with it is that to do Batman right, it was going to cost a lot of money. They had to build a bat cave. They had to build a lot of standing sets. It was 2-3 times more expensive than a normal pilot for television.
But producers found the money and built the sets. Frank Gorshin played the Riddler on the pilot.
It wasn't tough for me because it was pretty well delineated in the comic book, you know. And you see guys jumping around wearing green tights and question marks, black question marks all over them and laughing all the time, you know. There aren't that many options.
The producers loved the pilot, but the public was less than enthused. In December of 1965, the pilot was tested in front of an audience. On a scale of 1 to 100, the Batman pilot scored a dismal 49.
The gloom in that room was beyond description. We just thought we'd all been going off on some kind of oddball dream.
Coming up next, Batmania takes over, and Robin gets his shorts examined.
They felt that the boy wonder bulged too much out of his tights. And I said, oh, well, you know, big deal. You know, take it as a compliment, but it turned out to be a pretty serious matter.
In 1965, ABC was banking on Batman to help the network out of a primetime rating slump. But the Caped Crusader bombed before a test audience. Still, neither Adam West nor the producers were ready to admit defeat.
When it hit, bang, it just hit like a rocket.
There's no time to lose. Let's race to the Batmobile.
On January 12, 1966, Batman premiered at 7:30 p.m. on ABC. That night, 37-year-old actor Adam West spent the evening alone, hoping for the best.
I went to a supermarket, and as I approached the checkout stand, I heard women yelling, "Hurry, come on, come on. We got to get out of here. Batman's on tonight. We've got to see it. Come on, hurry." And I thought, wow, maybe this has a chance.
The show zapped the competition. Producer Bill D'Angelo.
We were incredibly surprised with the rating. I mean, the rating was, no one had ever gotten a 60 share.
Overnight, Batmania swept across the country. There were bat dogs, bat haircuts, and a dance craze, the Bat-Tusi. Fans, young and old, couldn't get enough of the Caped Crusader, on TV and in the flesh, when Adam West made personal appearances.
One lady reached out and touched his cape and came back, and she became 20 years old. Like she had touched the cape of Jesus.
Even savvy Hollywood insiders were amazed by Batman's success and treated the Caped Crusader like a TV savior.
What happens, as you know, when you have a big hit, everybody is on board. Everybody wants to do the show now, every director, every writer, every actor.
The show's list of celebrity villains read like a who's who of Hollywood actors. Burgess Meredith as the wily Penguin, and Cesar Romero as the Prince of Pranks, the Joker.
Have you heard this one? It'll kill you, Batman.
The producer of it called me. He said the villains in the piece are the big characters in each episode. He said, now we're going to do one with the character of the Joker, he said, and I'd like you to play it.
The former Latin heartthrob agreed to do the show on one condition.
The thing with Caesar was the mustache. He wanted to do it badly. He loved the idea, but he said, the mustache is who I am. I can't shave the mustache. Don't shave it. We'll just cover it up with makeup.
Guest spots on Batman were prized gigs for then-rising comedian Frank Gorshin.
Everybody wanted to do a guest appearance on the show because of the exposure was terrific and it was such a popular show.
Throughout the spring of 1966, Batman attracted more and more viewers. Producer Sam Strangus.
People just looked at this for relief. It was just good family fun. They had something to talk about besides Vietnam. And they grabbed it.
Kids loved the show's pow and bam action scenes, but adults loved something else. Grown-ups stayed glued to their TV sets to watch actress Julie Newmar as the Catwoman stick her claws into Batman. Writer Stanley Ralph Ross.
I wanted the sexual tension between them at all times. At one point, she says to him, I know the criminal mind. She says, I can go straight and I could be your assistant and we could go out and fight crime together because nobody knows criminals better than me. And he thinks a moment, he says, well, it's all very well and good, Catwoman, but what about Robin? She says, Robin? Well, we'll kill him.
During the first season, Robin had bigger problems than Catwoman. The Catholic League of Decency was uptight about the Boy Wonder's tights.
They felt that the Boy Wonder bulged too much out of his tights. And I said, oh, well, big deal. Take it as a compliment, but it turned out to be a pretty serious matter.
The network said, look, we don't care which side he dresses it, but it's got to be dressed on one side or the other because it's going back and forth. In the action sequences, there's too much action.
They came in with double underwear and penal restraints and all, testicle crushers, all these things, none of which seemed to satisfy them, wearing them. And I was in agony already from wearing those itchy tights.
Ward concocted an unusual solution to the problem.
Bert is a very funny guy. And what he told the press about that is that he was taking reduction tablets.
I stopped taking the pills after a couple of weeks and I just used my cape and cover.
Robin adjusted his tights, and the show moved forward. With all the Hollywood buzz surrounding Batman, Adam West's career was soaring, but the actor's second marriage was over. Adam and Nod divorced late in 1965.
In a sense, it was good that I was single because I was more available to really concentrate and focus on the work.
In 1966, ABC aired 2 new episodes of Batman each week. Despite Adam West's grueling schedule, the actor found time for fun with his pal, the Riddler, Frank Gorshin.
Frank and I walked into this house, walked into this party, and everyone was buck-ass naked. They were naked, and they were doing things, and Frank and I were fascinated. It seemed wondrous, but then they looked up. And they said, well, we spoiled the party. I mean, it was Batman and the Riddler at an orgy. How could you go on?
By the end of the first season in 1966, Adam West had turned his career around. But with all the adulation, the 37-year-old actor began to wonder who was the real star. Coming up next, the dynamic duo gets some real action.
There are times that I'd go behind one of the scrims or something, and there'd be Adam, and I'd look down and there was some beautiful young lady on her knees.
In 1966, the TV series Batman kapowed America. The colorful characters and campy style of humor made the show a hit and made 37-year-old Adam West one of the hottest properties on television. The Caped Crusader had no problem fighting off villains and sharks. But riddle me this, could Batman survive stardom?
I knew that I was getting buried in that costume and that perhaps there wouldn't be other opportunities.
Batman speaking. Warning all of you to brace yourselves for big news.
The biggest.
Tell them, Robin.
Holy superlatives, Batman! It's really exciting. Soon, very soon, Batman and I will be batapulting right out of your TV sets and onto your theater screens.
After the first season of Batman, the series producers decided to take full advantage of the crime fighter's soaring popularity. In the spring of 1966, the TV cast began shooting a feature film called Batman.
Penguin, Joker, Riddler, and Catwoman, too. The sum of the angles of that rectangle is too monstrous to contemplate.
Many of the show's top TV villains reprised their roles for the movie. But Julie Newmar was unavailable to play the Catwoman due to a previous commitment. So, producers found a new beauty to play the fiendish feline, actress Lee Merriweather.
When I went in, they finally called my name. I curled up in the chair. And because I've had cats all my life, it was an easy transition for me to just start being a cat. And I licked my paw, and I purred, and I kneaded my legs.
The movie included new bat props, like the Batcopter and Batboat. But Robin stuntman Victor Paul was less than enthusiastic about the slick gizmos, especially the Bat Cycle.
It was a nightmare because it was a motorcycle engine put on 4 wheels. And the guy that demonstrated this thing the night before I got it almost killed himself. And I didn't sleep that night, worried about this motorcycle.
Thankfully, there were no serious injuries on the set, and the picture was completed in just 6 weeks. The film opened in August of 1966 to good reviews, catapulting Adam West even higher into the celebrity stratosphere.
He gave as much time as he could to the fans. No matter where we were, he never snubbed them. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of people mobbing him all the time.
The boy wonder also had his fans.
One lady in a motel in Kansas, she heard I was staying there, and she went and took my underwear out of the dryer and took a photograph of it. And the only way I found out about it is I came back, and apparently she hadn't turned on the dryer because my underwear was wet. And that was her souvenir.
The second season of the TV series got off to a bang in the fall of 1966. With all the media hoopla, the Caped Crusaders' popularity was reaching rock star status. Adam West was becoming more closely identified with his alter ego, Batman. The actor even appeared as the Caped Crusader on TV public service announcements.
Whenever there is a U-turn that's necessary, a bat turn, we use the left or right turn indicator.
As Adam West, how do you drive?
I always take a taxi.
With all the attention, Adam West tried to remain level-headed.
There comes a point, I think, when you just have to kind of reevaluate. And that's what I did occasionally. But you can't really afford to do it too much, or you're perceived as a little crazed.
The media hype also began to affect the other half of the dynamic duo, 21-year-old Burt Ward. In the summer of 1966, Burt's daughter Lisa was born. But within weeks, the actor's marriage was over.
I guess in my entire life, if I only have one regret, that would be the regret that I wasn't able to make my marriage work. And it's probably all my fault. And I was just, bombarded from so many areas and so many different things, and I felt really bad.
But the Caped Crusaders didn't fret over their problems for long. Adam and Burt pursued bachelorhood with renewed vigor.
Adam was like a mentor. And it's not that I needed a mentor to fix me up on a date, but I didn't understand the volume of conquests that can be achieved until I met Adam, who explained to me the finer eccentricities of dating.
According to Ward's memoir, Boy Wonder, My Life in Tights, Burt and Adam West enjoyed their female fans, on the set, in their dressing rooms, in parked cars, and anywhere else that offered a little privacy.
There are times that I'd go behind one of the scrims or something, and there'd be Adam, and I'd look down and there was some beautiful young lady on her knees.
Adam West has no comment about Burt's tell-all memoir, except to say he believes it was written to titillate and sell books.
I don't think it damaged me in any way. It probably helped my reputation as some kind of combination of King Kong, Errol Flynn, and Daffy Duck. I don't know.
By the close of the second season, the Boy Wonder says he gave up his off-screen capers. Burt Ward married one of the Joker's molls, actress Kathy Kirsch, in 1967. That same year, as the show's third season unfolded, the cast and crew struggled to keep up with their grueling schedule. Writers dreamed up more villains, and there was even a new Catwoman played by sultry singer Eartha Kitt. But the series' stylized humor was wearing thin. Producers tried to inject some life into the show by introducing a new character, Batgirl, played by actress Yvonne Craig.
Trying to bring a lady with a great body in so that the guys watching television would get excited.
But even Batgirl's dangerous curves couldn't save the series from cancellation. 2.5 years in, the popularity of Batman vanished as suddenly as it appeared.
Why did the numbers drop? Therefore is the question, and the answer is probably the joke wore thin. Like a rocket to the moon, you know, when the fuel was out, the fuel was out.
Brace yourself, Robin. This could be the end.
On March 14th, 1968, Batman rescued Gotham City from doom one last time.
When the show was canceled, like many, I had mixed emotions. The work had been extraordinary, the pressures, and I was anxious to go on and try to do other things.
But Adam West would soon discover rescuing Gotham City was a breeze compared to saving his own career. Coming up, Adam West decides playing Batman is no longer a blast.
When I'm in a Batman costume in Indiana shot out of a cannon, that's a turning point.
When the TV series Batman debuted in 1966, the show was a phenomenal success. But after 2.5 short years, the show's humor grew old, and the series was canceled. Batman star Adam West was left with his costume, but nowhere to go.
If you get up in the morning and you're Batman, imagine the morning you get up and you're not.
By the end of 1968, Batman was off the air, and actor Adam West was ready to take on new challenges. But no big movie or TV deals came his way.
And Adam was typecast, and it was a shame because you're so good, people look at you that way, they don't look at you in any other way.
West wasn't the only Batman veteran who was having a tough time.
I think after the series, yes, it was difficult. It was very difficult for both of us, and we were more typecast with our names than by our looks.
People that represented me really had to look hard to find, you know, situations for me, you know. And it was made known to me that it was because of the guise of the Riddler, you know. People couldn't see beyond that.
In 1969, at the age of 41, Adam West was looking to jumpstart his career with any project that didn't involve a costume. That year, the star was cast in the film The Girl Who Knew Too Much, an action movie in which West played a nightclub owner. The movie bombed.
I was quickly kind of rushed into a couple of projects that didn't turn out, you know, the way I thought they might. And so I just really kicked back and said, hey, I became almost a recluse for a year or two, trying to let this whole thing pass and evaluate myself, my own life, and my career.
West couldn't stay away from the business forever. The actor went on a series of auditions, but still, no one was ready to hire Batman. The cape, which had made the actor a household name, was slowly dragging him into oblivion.
I don't think that Adam was truly appreciated for his talent.
As the 1960s came to an end, the job offers West primarily received were making personal appearances as Batman.
There was an ambivalence about it. I knew that people loved it, and I'd become kind of enamored, you know, of the character. I thought he was a lot of fun. And, but on the other hand, I knew that I was getting buried in that costume.
In 1969, Adam met a woman who appreciated his talent, Marcelle Lear, a beautiful French divorcee and mother of two. The pair met while West was making a personal appearance as Batman. The couple's daughter, Nina.
She thought he was a complete freak and was really scared of him because she's from France and they don't have characters like that in France. She's just like, who is this guy in these purple tights and this cape?
Despite her initial fear, Marcelle and Adam hit it off. Marcelle became the third Mrs. West in November of 1970. With his new wife by his side, Adam West tried to move his career forward. In 1971, the actor found another opportunity. he was cast as a sensitive husband in the film The Marriage of a Young Stockbroker. Even though the critics praised Adam West's performance, Hollywood wasn't listening. While Adam was getting his act together, his colleague Burt Ward was also trying to sort out his life. Ward's marriage to actress Kathy Kirsch ended after 2 years in 1969. To make ends meet, Burt donned his familiar costume.
For many years, I made personal appearances because, I couldn't possibly make more money doing anything else at the time. Even the job of acting would not pay near as much as going out on the road and making personal appearances.
Likewise, Adam West continued to put on his costume to support his family, which by 1976 included his daughter Nina.
There was a time when I didn't want to give up my lifestyle. And so I perceived putting on the costume again and being highly paid to make appearances away from this town would be okay. Nobody'd know, and I'd make a lot of money, and I could enjoy it because it was always funny and fun when Burt and I did that.
The fun didn't last. In 1976, the 48-year-old actor reached an all-time low when he put on his Batman costume and proceeded to climb into a cannon to be shot across the sky during a personal appearance in Indiana.
But what it did was tell me that regardless of the money, if I continued to play on my success as the Cape Crusader, I wasn't going to do anything else. And I had to give it up.
Coming up, Adam, out of work, turns the other cheek.
He had to take a skinny dip nude swim in the pool with the leading lady, and I don't think he had ever shown his backside on the camera before.
By 1976, actor Adam West hit bottom. After being shot out of a cannon in his Batman suit during a personal appearance, the actor decided it was finally time to hang up his costume. But Adam West needed a job, and the determined star was willing to do just about anything.
It's a challenge to do some of the crummy things.
In 1980, 52-year-old Adam West was down but not out. The actor decided he would take any offer to continue acting, including roles in low-budget films. That year, West was put to the test playing a suave movie producer in the film The Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood, director Alan Roberts.
I think at that point he was looking to reinvent himself in some way as an actor, whether it be a character actor or a leading man. And so I think he was just experimenting and trying different things and mostly wanting to work.
For the chance to work, West was willing to take off more than just his mask.
He had to take a skinny dip nude swim in the pool with the leading lady, and I don't think he had ever shown his backside on the camera before.
But Adam's nude scene didn't make a big splash in Hollywood. Over the next few years, the actor continued to appear in a series of low-budget pictures.
I find myself getting involved in these projects that maybe a shrewder person wouldn't. But then I think, well, maybe people will recognize that if this guy can do all of those things without the advantages that brighter projects have, then maybe he can do, anything.
Adam West's decision to do low-budget films paid off. In 1982, television producer Art Anacarico cast Adam as a radio announcer in the TV pilot Ace Diamond.
I could see that he wanted it. He wanted it to work. He put an awful lot of extra time into it. He gave more than we asked.
Despite Adam's hard work, the TV pilot never sold. But Adam West wasn't throwing in the towel. Tired of the Hollywood scene, Adam West left Los Angeles in 1987 and moved to the small town of Ketchum, Idaho. The actor's family now included Adam's son Perrin, who was born in 1979. At home, Adam West never complained about his hard luck.
He was my dad, he was an actor, and he was happy. He was happy all the time at home, never brought that into our lives.
Living in Idaho, Adam West was content but restless. The actor was still looking for his next big break. In 1987, West received a call from a grown-up Batman fan, director Charles Mathau. Mathau cast Adam as an alien in the 1988 comedy Doin' Time on Planet Earth.
He was absolutely the only person that I considered for that role, and fortunately I was able to convince the powers that be at the studio at that time to go ahead with Adam, and he was, to me, he makes the movie.
While the film wasn't a box office success, Adam didn't sulk for long. The actor had his eye on something else. Warner Brothers Studios decided to make a new film featuring West's old claim to fame, Batman. But the studio wanted to change the image of Batman to a grim, brooding caped crusader, based on the 1986 Batman comic book, The Dark Knight. Adam West knew the die was cast.
I knew that I had no chance to be cast as Batman because they were off on a totally different tangent. I also knew that if I weren't allowed to make a contribution in the way I felt it should be done, that I wouldn't fit in.
Actor Michael Keaton was chosen to play the lead role in the 1989 film Batman. With a new crime fighter on the silver screen, Adam West knew it was time to move on. But the 61-year-old actor couldn't let go of Batman entirely. In 1989, West sued an advertising firm, claiming that the agency unlawfully used his characterization of Batman in a TV commercial. The judge ruled against West, stating the actor didn't own the image of Batman. The court's decision was another loss for the one-time Caped Crusader. Despite his hard luck, Adam West's comedic talents caught the attention of Hollywood producers. In 1991, West got a role that hit close to home, playing an out-of-work actor in a TV pilot called Lookwell.
You know, I recognize you. Aren't you Ty Lookwell?
Yes. But until this audition's over, I prefer to be addressed as Buzz McCool.
The spoof seemed to be a perfect match for the actor.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure working with you. If you need me again, here's my headshot.
But the networks passed on the show. Even so, Adam West remained optimistic.
You got to look at it in a realistic way. You do your best and, you let the chips fall where they may.
Coming up next, the Caped One keeps crusading.
It is a matter of persistence and keeping at it.
¿Usted tiene email?
No, no quiero, estoy apurado.
El mail de Wall es gratis.
No tengo computadora. Ah, claro, usted me quiere vender una computadora.
No necesita. Usted puede enviar y recibir emails de cualquier computadora.
¿Y por qué tanta gentileza? No se ofenda, pero soy casado.
Con Wall podés tener tu email gratis. Elegís un nombre, una clave y ya. Wall Mail. Todo argentino tiene derecho a tener su email gratis.
¿Qué es lo que mi gente de Entertainment Televisión? Somos el grupo Ilegales. Estamos aquí para desearle una feliz Navidad porque I está más cerca de ti.
By 1989, Adam West was no longer Batman. That year, actor Michael Keaton assumed the role of the masked crime fighter in the film Batman. With a new Caped Crusader on the scene, 61-year-old actor Adam West was looking for a new act.
I would hate to end up as a bitter, angry, endangered species of an aging actor.
After sweating out a string of low-budget films and unsuccessful TV pilots in the 1980s, Adam West needed a serious career boost. The actor's new agent, Fred Westbrook, had a plan.
With his great star shine, I knew I could book Adam on all the talk shows, all the game shows, commercials, and all the dramatic shows, and sure enough, that's what we've done.
Adam's appearances got him noticed in Hollywood once again. In 1999, the veteran actor won rave reviews for his role in the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I just thought it was extremely funny. I have a couple of good moments.
In 1999, Adam West continues to make personal appearances. But now, West leaves his costume in storage.
In the 60s, he had to wear the costume. That's what they wanted to see. Now the love is for the actor who played Batman. That's Adam West.
As for Burt Ward, the actor who played Robin in the TV series Batman, he runs his own animation studio and is happily remarried.
Could you get that, Robin? I'm busy solving a crime.
Adam West may forever be known as Batman. But to the actor's friends and family, it is the man behind the mask who is the true superhero.
I think people love him not just because he was Batman, but because everyone who's met him has had a positive experience. You know, they feel like they've met their hero.
I think Adam is one of those wonderful people I've ever met. I don't think my life would be the same if he hadn't have entered my life, and for that I'm very grateful. I mean, I really have love for the man.
After nearly 35 years of playing Batman, Adam West has no regrets.
Man, is it fun. I mean, how many guys out there wouldn't like to be Batman for just one night?
I can't believe I'm doing this.
You know, people always want to know if I ever got together with Catwoman. Well, I had enough trouble getting into my own tights.
And the boy wondered, how can I be a grandfather? It's really not all that different than being a father. It just feels very strange making love to a grandmother.
Where do I see the career going? After this interview, this show, nowhere, absolutely nowhere.